Let's talk about business plans. Are they worth the effort and the time and the mental energy it takes to create? Or are they an old, antiquated thing that people don't really need anymore because you don't need as much money to start a business, you don't need as much capital, you don't need anyone's permission anymore to start a business? Let's discuss. As always, if you're enjoying my content, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Hey YouTube, it's your girl, The Real Teddy Talks, educating you daily on entrepreneurship, your hustle and your grind, and building generational wealth. Today we're going to talk about business plans and if there's something that you really need or not. I said it a few times, I'll be turning 41 in a couple weeks. I've been doing this business thing for a long time. And back when I started, when I was a young, early 20s trying to start my first business, a business plan was a must. It wasn't even an option. And the reason is you felt like you needed all this permission from outside sources to validate what you were doing. So if you needed a business loan, then you had to have a business plan. If you needed business credit, you needed a business plan. If you wanted your uncle or your grandfather to invest in your company, he wanted to see what you're doing and where it's going. So a business plan would work for that, right? But we are way far advanced. We have come so far. We've done so much. A business plan is not what it used to be. However, I will bookend that statement by saying a business plan is still an integral part of your business, and it's something I think you should have even if it's on a summary scale. And I'll tell you why. A lot of us can't see the forest for the trees. And you want to start a business, you know what you want to sell, you know how you want to sell it. But all those little details in the middle, you really haven't thought about. You don't know how long it's going to take you to get from A to B to C. You don't know how many man hours it's going to take to get there. You don't know how much money it's going to cost you. You don't know what your startup costs are. You don't know what your continual costs are going to be. Some of you don't know anything about money at all, right? You haven't even thought about it. You'll just figure it out when you get there. And that's not a horrible approach because I've discussed the paralysis of analysis. So I don't want you being so stuck hemming and hawing over minuscule details. However, the business plan will help you build a roadmap or a guide to your future, and it's not written in stone like the 10 Commandments. So you can change it often and adjust as needed. But the first point I'm going to make is a business plan is a must-have, especially for a starting business and a small business. You need to map out where you're going and how you're going to get there in as much detail as you can provide. The second benefit of a business plan is it helps you lay out your short and long-term goals. It tells you, what do I need to accomplish this week? What milestone do I need to hit this next month? What quarterly milestones do I need to make? And which ones do I need to meet? This is important because you need to know if you're progressing. You need to know if you're headed in the direction you said you're going to be headed. You need to be able to bump that data up against something. And if you don't have it written down, and if you haven't established those goals and set those mile markers, how will you know if you're succeeding? And how will you know if you're staying on plan or off target? Third, a business plan helps you make critical decisions. It helps you decide, do I need to hire someone? Do I have enough money to hire them? Is it worth me scaling in this avenue or that avenue? What social media platforms do I need to be on? How many ads can I afford to run? How should I promote myself? All these are questions that are tied to money. And if you don't set up a business plan, you don't set up a budget or a forecast, how will you know what you need to do? The fourth reason a business plan is really good is it gives you a reality check. It lets you take your dreams and make them a reality. It puts it on paper and says, I want to accomplish these things. Can I really do that? Whoa, that's more than I planned for. That's a lot more. I think I'm biting off more than I can chew. Whatever it is you're doing, you need to see it there visually so you can make an assessment and make a decision. A lot of people talk, and hardly anybody does. Well, you need to be a doer. In order for you to be a doer, you have to be a writer and a forecaster and a thinker. And that will help you get to the point where you're going to reach your goals. The fifth benefit of a business plan, it gives you insight into new ideas. As you're getting all those ideas on a paper, on your computer, onto your project management software, whatever you're using to build your business plan, you might think of something new. You might be able to download all of those thousands of terabytes in your brain, and it might help you figure out a better way to do something. You might map out a timeline and realize that the timeline you thought you should go on is taking too long. You may need to take a shorter avenue. Or you may need to do a side hustle instead of doing this business full time. Whatever it is, the business plan will help you make those decisions. The sixth and final reason you need a business plan, which is one of my favorites, is it helps you create an action plan. You know how I feel about action plans. I made a video, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago about action plans. You have to get it down on paper so you know how to proceed. If you don't set those goals and those timelines, put it on paper and look at it, and then put it on a sticky note on your wall, or a sticky note on your mirror, or in your car, or you're saying mantras to yourself, how will you ever stick to it if you don't know what it is? The business plan helps you digest your goals into small bite-sized pieces, pursue them, and have a good picture financially and business process-wise of what you need to do. So to recap, a business plan is not what it used to be, and you don't need it like you needed it 20 years ago. However, a business plan is very useful to help you get headed and running in the right direction with some good boundaries set to help keep you going where you're trying to get. Invest in yourself just 1% a day and reach your exponential greatness and have phenomenal results at the end of a year. This is the Real Tidy Talks, signing off.
Listen.